I live in Pristina. It's the capital of Kosovo. I grew up there and still live there. I grew up at the oldest part of Pristina. It's called Ulpiana, one of the oldest parts, because Europe is pretty old. We had a lot of children there, a lot of students, because after war, a lot of people from the villages moved to the cities, and they intended to take the best education they could get. So there were a lot of students, and all the science rooms, all the biology rooms and stuff like that, we had to convert into classrooms because there was no place for students. During the war, a lot of people were misinformed. So a lot of people moved to Macedonia. There was a camp where they held the Kosovars. A lot moved to Albania, a lot moved to the United States and Canada, a lot moved to Europe and Australia. Me and my family went to Macedonia, but we couldn't get outside the borders of Kosovo because we stayed there for 1 week, like there were 1,000 cars, if you can count that. And there were people trying to get some bread, trying to get some places where they can at least fulfill their basic needs. We were again misinformed by the Serbian government that our president at that time, our elected president Ibrahim Rugova, had managed to get an agreement with Milosevic to bring us back, to bring us home safely. But when we returned back, usually the NATO bombing started. We kind of felt all the bombing. I kind of saw people getting lined up to get executed. They took my grandfather and my uncle. In my opinion, countries like the United States and countries that are fully developed, they have democracy, they have a stable economical system, I think they have a kind of duty to assist countries that are emerging from a regime, that have emerging democracies, that are fighting to get a stable economy. It's not for the sake of their interest or our interest. It's for the sake of the people, so that they can prosper in their life. When the Prime Minister read the Declaration of Independence, it was one of the greatest moments in my life, because it was a moment when all the bloodshed from Kosovars, all the helping from the United Nations and from the United States and so forth, it's kind of got to a point where everything went to its place, and we finally reached what we wanted from the beginning. And when the first recognitions came, we felt as if people are now recognizing our true worth, our true fighting, our true suffering that we had during those years. When I came to the United States, I thought that it would be similar to Europe. But when I came here, I realized that people lived together. People didn't look at their ethnic background, their religious background, at any kind of background you might have. And that's what I want to bring back to my country. That's why I want to tell people that it's not important if we fought 10 years ago or 11 years ago. It's not important if we fought 100 years ago, for example, for the Turks. But the important thing is that we live today in this world. And we live in the world that we can affect, that we together can build the future. And that's what I learned here, and that's what I want to bring back to my home.